More than 500 years ago, in the city of Florence, Italy, a genius sat before a wooden panel no bigger than a school desk. His name was Leonardo da Vinci, artist, inventor, scientist, and philosopher. He was a man who believed that art was not just about what the eyes could see, but what the soul could feel, and with slow, deliberate strokes, he began to create a portrait that would one day become the most famous painting in the world. That portrait was the Mona Lisa. Part 1. The Birth of a Legend. The year was around 1503. Florence was alive with music, trade, and discovery, the heart of the Italian Renaissance. Leonardo, then in his early 50s, had already painted masterpieces like The Last Supper, and was studying anatomy, flight, and the mysteries of light. A wealthy merchant named Francesco del Giocondo commissioned Leonardo to paint a portrait of his wife, Lisa Gerdini. She was a young woman from a respected Florentine family, graceful, intelligent, and serene. Leonardo accepted the task, perhaps seeing in her something that stirred his curiosity, a calmness that hinted at hidden depth. He painted her seated against a distant landscape of winding rivers and misty mountains, a background that seemed almost otherworldly. But what made the portrait extraordinary was not the scenery. It was her expression. Part 2. The Mysterious Smile. At first glance, the Mona Lisa's smile appears gentle, polite, even modest. But look longer, and it changes. From one angle, she seems to smile with warmth. From another, the corners of her mouth seem to fade into stillness, almost melancholy. Leonardo used a revolutionary technique called sfumato, meaning soft or smoky. It blended colors and shadows so gradually that the edges disappeared, creating lifelike transitions that no artist before him had achieved. Her lips, her eyes, even her skin, they seemed to breathe. That subtle balance between life and illusion is what makes her so hauntingly real. Her eyes appear to follow you, no matter where you stand. Her smile appears alive, shifting with your own emotion. It is as if Leonardo captured a moment that never ends, a living soul trapped within layers of paint.
Part 3. Leonardo's Obsession. Leonardo could never let her go. He carried the painting with him for years, from Florence to Milan, and later to France. He continued touching, refining, and perfecting it, even as his hair turned gray and his hands trembled with age. Some say he never delivered it to the man who commissioned it, perhaps because it was no longer a portrait of Lisa Gerdini. Perhaps, over time, the Mona Lisa had become something more, a reflection of Leonardo's own fascination with human emotion, with mystery, and with the fragile beauty of life itself. When Leonardo died in 1519, the painting remained in France, eventually finding its way into the royal collection, and centuries later, into the Louvre Museum in Paris. Part 4. The Great Theft. For centuries, the Mona Lisa hung quietly on the walls of palaces and galleries. Then, in 1911, something incredible happened. A museum worker named Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian patriot, decided to steal it. He believed the painting belonged in Italy, the land of its creator. One morning, he simply walked into the Louvre, took the painting off the wall, hid it under his clothes, and walked out. For more than 2 years, the world was in shock. Newspapers everywhere printed her face. Poets mourned. Artists like Picasso were even questioned by police. The Mona Lisa had vanished. When she was finally found in 1913, hidden in a trunk in Italy, her fame had exploded. What had been a Renaissance masterpiece was now a global icon. Part 5. A symbol beyond time. Today, the Mona Lisa hangs behind bulletproof glass in the Louvre, watched by security cameras and admired by millions. Visitors travel from every corner of the world just to stand before her to see if they can solve the riddle of her smile. They raise their phones, take their photos, but even through the glass, something mysterious remains. That quiet presence, that gaze that seems to recognize you, that smile that hides a secret you'll never quite understand. She has become more than paint and wood. She is the embodiment of art, beauty, and mystery itself. Even scientists have tried to decode her, studying the layers of paint, the chemistry, the brushwork, even her teeth and veins, yet none can explain the feeling she evokes. Maybe that's the secret? Leonardo left us, that some things in life are meant not to be solved, but simply to be felt. 5 centuries have passed since Leonardo painted her, Yet her eyes still meet ours. Her smile still whispers across time. And so she remains silent, eternal, and endlessly alive. Te, Mona Lisa. The woman who never truly stops smiling.